Honestly, I hate to use the word brand because it's quite misleading. A lot of wrong thoughts come to our mind when we talk about brand. We think brand means the name, the logo. So I've been reading lots of books on brands, marketing, perception designing, positioning. I've covered many. So the book, What Great Brands Do. Honestly, there was nothing new that I learned, which I had learned from other brand related books or marketing related books. Like recently, I had covered The Purple Cow by Seth Godin, 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing by Al Rice and Jack Trout. So many books. Uh, and so, of course, the message was given in different words with different examples. So that was a good news. Uh, the most important part of the book, which I guess is very underrated nowadays, especially in the corporate world, that you have to be emotional only in your personal life. There is no need to establish an emotional connect with your office colleagues, with your customers, with your suppliers, with your shareholders, with your stakeholders. No, after all, we are human beings. Okay, we don't have a different heart set in office and a different heart set in at home. ओके, ऐसा होता है क्या कि ऑफिस में कोई गाली देगा तो हमको चलता है, वी गिव अ स्माइल, और घर पे गाली दिया तो हमको बुरा लगता है? ऐसा कभी होगा क्या? दैट मीन्स दिस इज अ सिंपल एग्जांपल दैट वी आर इमोशनली यूनिफॉर्म regardless of where we are, in office, at home, in the train, in a social function, whether it is a corporate function. So let's first understand that we are primarily emotional creatures who pretend to be looked like as logical creatures. I repeat, we are 100% emotional creatures who like to show off that we are logical creatures. For example, I'll come to the main points here, but I have to create the backstory for you so that you are ready to absorb the new ideas. See, when you do that unplanned, spontaneous shopping, अचानक से वो कुछ फ्लोरोसेंट ग्रीन कलर की ड्रेस हमको दिख जाती है, which was never part of your shopping list, and you end up buying it. Now, nobody will admit, including me, that it was a 100% extempore, spontaneous, impulsive emotion, and hence I fell prey to that display, their marketing gimmick, and I ended up buying it. हम ऐसा कभी नहीं बोलते because it is admission of the fact that I am an emotional creature. We don't like that. We love to be looked like as intelligent, logical. So what we say, अरे नहीं, वो फ्लोरोसेंट ग्रीन कलर की एक भी टी शर्ट मेरे पास नहीं थी ना, सो इट वाज मेंट टू बी बॉट, सो मुझे लेना था एनीवे, तो कोइंसिडेंटली वहां पे दिख गई तो मैंने ले लिया. सो so every decision, most of the decisions taken by us are emotional, and then we try to justify them by putting some logic. Now we have to understand, as marketers, as brand owners, we have to understand this, that your customers are also emotional creatures. You did not give all the rational reasons why you are better than others, why you have additional features in your product, in your app, in your service, and hence people should come to you and prefer you over others. If you the new update that is going to come up in Booklet app, I have cut down 40% of the features in the next update. I'm very sure some of you will get pissed off for initial few days. ये क्या है, ये क्यों निकला है, ये क्यों निकला है? Trust me, in the long run, simplifying things always helps. Steve Jobs have said in his biography that simplifying things is very complicated, and we love simple things. I'm not saying easy. I'm not talking about easy. Simple means not easy. Simple means simple design, which is very intuitive. Now, you take a look at Apple phone. They could have, Samsung has 3 buttons. Yeah, back, beach wala, back, and one more cancel wala. Apple thought, no, there should be only one button. And the latest Apple doesn't even have one button. There is no button. There is no key on the entire phone. So they understood the power of simplicity. The less number of elements, the more we get hooked to that. And hence google.com is 95% blank white page and a simple stupid horizontal bar for you to put in the keyword, right? They could have easily cluttered the entire page of google.com with lots of features. Are they mad? They don't have better features. What? They have the best of the best software engineers in their company, but still there are hardly any features on google.com. I'm talking about google.com, the first landing page of Google. I think there is just a simple search bar with some two keys. One is audio. If the people who can't see, for blind people, probably there is an audio search. And I think I'm feeling lucky was there, but now I think that has also disappeared. I'm feeling lucky was a flop feature, so I guess they removed it. It was there 2-3 years ago, if you remember. Yeah. So the feature was that if you don't want those thousands of hits after searching the key, then they will directly take you to the website, which is the most relevant for your keyword. But I guess that did not work, and hence they removed it. All right. So the emotional connect, I started with the discussion with emotional connect, and I'll give you simple examples. My father was admitted. He had a severe heart attack in the month of January, and I had to admit him as an emergency case. And he was there in the hospital for almost 10-15 days. Few days in ICU, then shifted in the ward. And then he was treated well. He recovered. He was getting discharged. On his discharge day, the hospital, because the hospital authorities knew me, and he's the father of Booklet guy, and so the authorities asked me to make a video. They said, we'll get a cameraman, and you please talk about our hospital, what kind of treatment you got, about the doctors, and we'll upload it on our website so that it will help us. I said, fine, I'm happy to do that. And so they were expecting that I'll talk something technical, that the doctors were expert doctors, great diagnosis, timely treatment. The hospital was very clean. But I did not say any of these things, because diagnosis and medical recovery is the basic thing. That's why I took my father there in that hospital. So that is not a differentiator. Doctors to qualified hone chahiye, obviously. What alarmed me, what delighted me the most was, so I call myself my father as Baba. In Marathi, we call my father as Baba. And I observed that all the ward boys, including ward boys, all the sisters, the nurses, and the doctors were calling him Baba, which I loved. So I thought कि सबको Baba बोलते हैं क्या? I mean, Baba is also a general term, ना? कि कोई बूढ़ा आदमी मतलब Baba. But then there was another man next to my father's bed in the ICU, and his son was calling him Abba. And all other staff were also calling him Abba. And I loved this fact. Now, this was properly trained. This was not coincidence, right? They must have been trained by the board, by the trainers, that call by the same word that the relatives of the patient are calling him. And the worst thing, what other hospitals I have observed, is they call him as patient. आपका पेशेंट किधर है? आप पेशेंट के बेटे बोल रहे हो? Patient. I know he's a patient. Okay, don't emphasize. That's why he's here with you. Or else you would have been with me at home. I agree. For them, from their side, it's just a patient. But from my point of view, right, he's my father. He's my Baba. And they took note of it. And I think it is part of their training protocols. And they have this practice of calling by the same word that the relatives are calling. Great thing. It's a big thing, yes. No wonder next time, I mean, खुदा ना खास्ता ऐसा कभी समय आए ना, but next time also I'll be choosing the same hospital over other hospitals, not because the doctors are great, वो तो आएगा ही, that is by default, but because of these intangible emotional reasons. All right. So try to bring, especially in the service industry. Ravi is doing a fantastic job. He has his midway home, a very, very interesting concept. And we celebrated our 7th booklet anniversary at Wood Midway home. You must be knowing I had floated the message on social media that at Midway home we are going to celebrate 7th anniversary of Booklet Guy, and it was hosted by Ravi ji. Yeah. So Ravi, I also want you to share 2-3 ideas where you, because I've seen Midway home, the patients there, and they feel so homely, and I'm sure you have, you've made sure that there has to be a personal touch in all the treatments that are given to the patients, right? Technically, Midway home is not a hospital, and hence the name Midway. So it's after hospital, before home. So patients who are discharged from the hospital because the doctors deem fit that now they don't need any special care in the hospital, but they're not fit enough that the family members can take care of them at home. They're not qualified, especially the stroke patients who are wheelchair bound. So unka sab, taking them to the toilet, shower, it's very difficult, especially if there are limited number of people at home. So Ravi ji has filled up this gap very nicely, and he has started his unique concept called Midway Home in Gorai, near Gorai Beach. So Ravi ji, I want you to share 1 or 2 things that you have taken care of, and that's the reason why I felt so homely. मैंने तो एक ऐसा जोक भी मारा, रवि जी ने मुझे डांटा, मुझे इतना अच्छा लगा, हॉस्पिटल तो लगता ही नहीं है ये, इतना सुंदर लगता है कि मुझे खुद को एडमिट, ऐसा लगता है कि मैं एडमिट हो जाऊं. एंड रवि जी shouted at me, ऐसा मत बोलो यार, okay, शुभ शुभ बोलो. So Ravi, are you listening to me? You can unmute yourself. I guess Ravi is busy somewhere else. Ravi ji, can you unmute yourself? No, I can't hear you.
He's saying that he can't connect through microphone.
Acha. Okay. Fine. Then let's drop it. I hope he'll be back. His audio will be on after some time. So this is what emotional connection does wonders. Now, some opposite example. So continuing with my father's example, I'm using father a lot today because that's a recent thing in my mind. And, I have this habit of connecting all the new things that I learned from the book with my surroundings, with my daily life. Okay, not seeking out again on Google. So the whole purpose of the book is to, connect it with your daily life. Yeah. So my father is on life-saving drugs now. Wow, a bunch of pills, or 10 pills a day. Yeah, blood thinner and what all. And the pharmacist where I go to buy, almost he has memorized. He knows what the medicines I always buy. Every week I go to him and buy those bunch of pills. Now, the moment I enter the shop, I know. Before I show the prescription list, mujhe pata hai. But not a single time that guy said he doesn't know who is unwell at home. He did not even have the knowledge or courtesy to ask कि कौन बीमार है घर पे. He would have just asked that one question. Okay, and I would have shared everything about my father, that now he's on life-saving drugs. He knows he's on life-saving drugs, but he doesn't know that who is he. Now, every person who steps into the medical shop, he's not in his best of his state of mind, right? Because somebody's unwell at home. He himself or some family member, right? Some relative. Don't you think it is a great opportunity for this medical store guy to inquire the whereabouts of the patient at home? He never did that. And the prices are same. I mean, कल को अगर 2 रुपए से भी अगर कम मेडिसिन मुझे बाजू वाले शॉप पे मिलेगा, I'll go there now because I'm not emotionally connected to that guy. But if he asks me and inquires, so is your dad getting better now? Are the pills working for you? Is the doctor, are you happy with the doctor's prescription? Whatever. I would go to him again and again, even if he charges 20% premium on his medicines. Yes or no? Because I'll go for him now. I'll not go for the shop. I'll not go for the pills. Pills will be just a side thing. Right? I'll go to meet him. Somewhere, because of that empathetic inquiry, I'll fall in love with that person and I'll go for that person. And then whether you sell pills or bananas or mangoes or whatnot, doesn't matter. Right? But unfortunately, what we do is we think that when it comes to business, no, there is no need of emotions. Emotion is सिर्फ घर पे होना चाहिए with your family members. No, ऐसा नहीं. They are also human beings, na? Right? What's the harm if your client becomes your best friend? कुछ problem है क्या? But we never allow. Because nowadays I see that people don't invite their business colleagues at home for lunch and dinner. एक rule हो गया है. Festivals के time या even if there is no occasion, only friends and relatives can go to each other's houses. Why not? क्या हर client क्या चोर रहता है क्या? और चोर है तो फिर वो आपका client क्यों है? There is some good thing in that, and that's why you have built a commercial relationship with him. And what's the harm? Right? In fact, मैं उल्टा करता हूँ. कोई भी आता है, I first develop friendship with him, और बाकी के सब चीजें अपने आप हो जाते हैं. He'll end up buying my book. He'll end up helping me through some, because he comes to know that I'm a social enterprise. The Amazon, we have joined hands with Amazon. Amazon is kind enough that whatever shopping you do on Amazon, books or non-books, shoes, apparels, lipstick, baby diapers, whatever you buy from Amazon through this special link, then Amazon is happy to share some part of its revenue with us to help Mission Make India. And all my friends are doing it. Not a single friend, whenever he goes on Amazon to do shopping, he makes sure that he uses that link, because I come to know, I get the report. उसने ये खरीदा, and or it doesn't matter for you, right? Because it's the same. The website is same, the app is same. You just have to go through the link. So I guess अभी बात चली है, तो Pallavi, if you could share the link here also, so that next time when you guys think of shopping on Amazon, you just have to use that link. Okay, prices will be the same. Well, so friends, colleagues, clients, customers, these are just different words, but we should treat the same way, I guess. Yeah. Starbucks. The example of Starbucks is seen in almost every marketing book. And it's the best example I can't think of a better example than Starbucks. We all think Starbucks is so famous because of the quality of the coffee and because of the amazing ambience that they provide at the coffee shop. Yes? Do you think so? You are absolutely wrong. If you read the story of Starbucks in detail, so the owner of Starbucks, he has the why is so strong. So his father worked for a company for almost 30 years, and then he got retired, and he was unwell, seriously unwell. But his company, his ex-employer, did not provide any pension, any provident fund, nothing, no incentives, nothing. And the Starbucks owner's father died because of lack of money, lack of treatment on time. And this he thought that मेरे पिताजी ने इतने साल दिए कंपनी को, और क्या हुआ? Ultimately, he had to die. 30 years of service, and he had to die because of lack of empathy, I would say, or there was no concern from the ex-employer. Yeah. And so this hit him so hard when he grew up. He wanted to start a startup. Coffee was just nothing on his mind. It's not that he was obsessed of coffee or he loved coffee. There was some coffee shop which was sinking financially in his area. So he thought, let's take it and start running. He found some investors who believed in his ideas, and he started the venture. So there was a sinking coffee shop, he himself and the funder. Now, the first board meeting, what do you think a normal founder would say to please his funders to take up this business to the next level? He would say, okay, now let's renovate the coffee shop. Let's change the color to dark green. and change the mugs and make it more funky so to attract the youth. Research on the taste of the coffee, right? What went wrong with the previous? Let's research it. इसमें से उसने कुछ भी नहीं बोला. Nothing did he speak in the board meeting which will directly help to increase the sales of coffee. You know what he said? He said, can we come out with some unique scheme where we can benefit the employees, like medical insurance, free medical insurance for the employees. What about some free facilities for education of their children? Something kind of that. And of course, the funders, the investors were in awe. What are you talking? पहले बिजनेस को पहले अच्छा तो कर लेते, उसको बढ़ाते बिजनेस, फिर देखते हैं ना एम्प्लॉयज के बारे में. And somehow he convinced his investors, his board members, that let's keep our employees happy. The job of the leader is not to make the customers happy. The job of the leader is to keep his employees happy, which in turn will make their customers happy. The leader is not responsible for the results. The leader is responsible for the people who produce results. And no wonder you go to any Starbucks outlet in the world and you will see the happiest employees in Starbucks. They're so smiling, not just because they get better salary, okay? Salary is one of the things. The kind of parenting they get from their owners, from their leaders. Leadership is another kind of parenting nowadays. सिर्फ पगार दिया और खत्म हो गया ऐसा नहीं है. Gone are those industrial era days. Okay. And ESOP, you know what is ESOP? Employee Stock Option Plan. Starbucks was the first one to invent ESOP. So ESOP is if the company is listed on the stock exchange, Starbucks is in American stock exchange, then the employees get an opportunity to participate in the growth of the company by owning the shares, some part of the shares of the company. Now, see, both ways, they are working for the company, and if they could participate in the growth, financial growth of the company, don't you think this will increase their loyalty? मैं ज्यादा काम करूंगा तो मेरी कंपनी ग्रो होगी, मेरी कंपनी ग्रो होगी तो मेरी ग्रोथ होगी फाइनेंशियली, बिकॉज आई एम ओनिंग द शेयर्स. Amazing concept. And now ESOP, I think, is very common nowadays. Yes. So ESOP is a choice is given to the employees to buy a certain number of shares of that company itself at a very deep discount, or even sometimes free. All right. Last week, Farid asked me that why do you always buy fruits from the same vendor? And that puzzled me. Yeah, he's right. Why am I buying all the fruits from the same fruit seller for last 2 years? फिर मैंने सोचा कि बिकॉज ही सेल्स बेटर क्वालिटी फ्रूट्स, तो ऐसा तो कुछ मैंने तो कुछ और देखा ही नहीं है. सो हाउ वुड आई कम टू नो दैट ही सेल्स बेटर क्वालिटी फ्रूट्स और नॉट? इज ही सेलिंग एट अ चीपर प्राइस? आई डोंट नो, बिकॉज आई हैव नेवर कंपेयर्ड with other fruit sellers. Then I realized, I started, whenever such intriguing questions come to me, especially from Farid, I start thinking, why am I doing this? Most of the thing what we think we are doing, reason कुछ अलग रहता है, हम समझते कुछ अलग. Then I remembered one incident that happened with that fruit wala. So I asked him to give me papaya. So I was buying papaya. There are some 3-4 papayas at his shop. And you know what he said? साहब, आज पपाया मत खरीदो, तो ताजा नहीं है, आपको अच्छा नहीं लगेगा. And that was the the point where he won my trust. Okay, he gave up his immediate profit in favor of long-term relationship, long-term gain. No wonder he is the most trusted fruit seller today for me. In fact, अभी तो ऐसी नौबत आई है कि before I step out from the house, I Paytm him 400-500 rupees and I WhatsApp him कि ये 4 fruit ready रखो, bananas and grapes and muskmelon and watermelon, and the bag is ready and I just have to pick it up. See, when trust goes up, speed goes up and cost goes down. कितना मेरा टाइम बचा है, राइट? तो जाके नाउ आई एम वेरी श्योर, because he won my trust, I also started trusting him. So trust is always in reciprocation. Because of that one incident, I don't mind paying him in advance by Paytm before I reach his office or his shop. Yeah. And now he gives me the best of the best fruits in that bag, because he knows he's my repeat customer. If I deceive him today, probably I'll lose him in the long run. अभी इसमें क्या है? ब्रांडिंग है, मार्केटिंग है, क्या है? इट्स ह्यूमन टच. ही केयर्ड फॉर मी. ही केयर्ड फॉर मी कि इसको गलत नहीं देना चाहिए. नहीं तो टिपिकली कैसे बोलते हैं, क्या भैया ये कैसा है पपाया? हाँ हाँ बढ़िया है साहब, आज ही सुबह लिया है साहब, ले लो साहब. ऐसे ही बोलते हैं ना मोस्टली सब फ्रूट सेलर्स. फ्रूट सेलर्स. So this is what, that's why he stands out from all other fruit sellers. See, I'm giving you some simple examples so that you integrate these things in your ventures, even in your personal life. Yeah. You know, the most common thing when people come to meet me, I hardly know them. They know me through social media and through YouTube videos and Booklet app. But I've observed that they end up sharing the most vulnerable parts of their life, the most sensitive. They open up their secrets, which probably they don't even share with their family members. And I was thinking, kyun aisa? Then I realized Farid told me that, because you talk about empathy, you share your vulnerability so much. तुम घर के बातें सब शेयर करते हो, या जो यूजुअली कभी करता नहीं, इसलिए that's why they feel at home to share their lowest point of their life. And that is what is keeping us together. So many girls trust me. Yeah, young girls, they come, they're now very close friend of mine, and they spend time here with me. They have an overnight stay here, and informing their parents. There's a perfect platonic relationship with so many girls in my life. uh, yeah. See, to stand out, to become the purple cow, it's not that innovation is the only solution. Innovation is overrated. And this is not an overstatement. Innovation is overrated. We always find what is the next big thing, what is going to change in next 10 years. The most common comment ये होता है ना कि अभी अगले साल में क्या बड़ा चेंज आने वाला है, एआई क्या वाट लगाने वाला है, ड्राइवरलेस कार्स एंड स्पेस टूरिज्म, मार्स पे जाके हम 7 बारह लेंगे मार्स का, एंड व्हाट नॉट. बट वी डोंट pay attention to what's not going to change in next 100 years. Jeff Bezos understood, and he focused on what's not going to change in next 10 years. What's not going to change? Would Ranjit say that once he places an order on Amazon.in, okay, don't send the delivery in 2 days, you can send it after 1 month, I'm not in hurry? कभी ऐसा बोलोगे? For next 100 years, we always want quick delivery as soon as possible. Yes or no? They focused on that. And no wonder amongst all the e-tailers, Amazon has the best delivery system. So they did not decide to outsource. They have their in-house courier network. Amazing. They invested in that. No wonder कितने e-tailers आए और गए, Amazon को कोई हाथ नहीं लगा पाया, है ना? Amazon is now number one. I think there is hardly any competitor. There are websites, online e-commerce websites, but Amazon के level का कोई नहीं है, I guess. Am I right? So focus on what's not going to change. What's not going to change? Human emotions. या गाली देने के बाद सबको गुस्सा आने वाला है. स्माइल देने से सामने वाले को अच्छा लगता है. इन रिटर्न यू विल गेट स्माइल फॉर नेक्स्ट 100 years. Right? What's harm in giving a smile? So I realized that if I want to stand out from this huge plethora of distractions, digital distractions, it's not necessary that I have to innovate radically. Do you think book summary is a great innovation? Come on. I don't think so. Pressy writing was there in our school since 4th standard. मैं कुछ नया कर रहा हूँ. But then I realized what's not going to change. That empathy, courtesy, humility, Okay, honesty. These things are expected from everybody. Credibility. Then let's focus on that. Let's focus on these basic human values which were taught to us in our बाल भारती text. पर आजकल उसकी बात करने को भी हमको शर्म आती है because टेक्निकल चीजें बहुत फैंसी लगती है ना, चैट जीपीटी एंड ऑल. ठीक है, those are good things. I'm not saying they are bad. And so, whenever I was in a dilemma to take a decision, I went back to my values, which probably will help me to do my perception designing, to market myself, because I did not have funds to market myself. I had to give everything for free. So there was no immediate revenue from the app itself. App में से मुझे कुछ revenue नहीं आ रहा है, right? So I'll give you some examples where I was in a dilemma कि left लेना है या right लेना है. And then going back to my values helped me to take the decisions easily. So I think in 2019, I was approached by an institution which they said that congratulations, we have selected you to award you as a Youth Icon Award 2019. I said, wow, thank you so much. I was so happy. I shared this news with my sister in US. I told my brother, my dad. And then on the same day in the evening, they said that you have to come to Pune on last week of August. There was some date, and we'll have the celebration. There will be a huge function. Some great politicians are coming, and who's who of the town are coming. So you are welcome. And then the date was clashing with a pre-commitment at Nagpur. So I'd given a commitment to a municipality school, okay, in a very remote area of Nagpur called Wardha. And they said that we have heard about you. The principal had called me 3 months ago, before August, that the boys in our school are on the wrong track. They are substance abuse, gutka, khare. I think they're addicted to pornography, because now internet has also become cheap in our areas. Internet is everywhere. And I think somewhere you can bring a change. I want you to come and inspire our kids to cultivate reading habit, talk about the addictions if possible. And I was so happy. I said, yeah, I'll be there. So there was already a commitment for 28th August. And unfortunately, the Youth Icon Award function was also on the same day. And without any second thought, I called those guys from Pune who were rewarding me that, sorry, I can't come because the dates are clashing. And they said, are you crazy? Youth Icon Award, log marte hai iske liye. Change the date, change the plan for Nagpur. And I took a pause and gave them an answer that, देखो, जिस वजह के लिए आप मुझे अवार्ड दे रहे हो, वो वजह को मैं ड्रॉप करके अवार्ड लेने आऊं, ये कैसे चलेगा? The reason for which you are awarding me as Youth Icon Award, because I'm making India read. I'm cultivating reading habit, and this is already a commitment 3 months ago. Sorry, I can't do this. This award is a byproduct. Okay, it's not an achievement. It is an acknowledgement of my other achievements, that I'm able to inspire millions of youngsters of India to cultivate reading habit, and hence you are rewarding me. And I did not go that year, but the next year they again approached me, and I got the Youth Icon Award 2020. So I think somewhere these things matter a lot. These are all invisible things would probably आपको भी नहीं पता होती. So बहुत बार ऐसा लगता है ना कि why we follow somebody, why we like that person. हमको जो रीजन लगता है वो रीजन होता ही नहीं है, कुछ अलग ही होता है. Now, if you have read my book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective Readers, there is no preface in the book. There is no epilogue, prologue, nothing. Dedication page, कुछ नहीं मेरे book में. There is one letter before I start habit number 1. और उस लेटर में मैंने एक लाइन लिखा है that I am not copywriting my book because I believe copywriting is selfishness. Okay? And unselfishness is the core human value that I have picked up from Swami Vivekananda, and I have to live it. So if I copyright the book, I will be deviating from my own values. And hence Booklet app is completely free. Mission Make India Read is a social enterprise. Wealth maximization or profit maximization is not the primary objective. This one line कि copyright नहीं किया, was noted by a person from Rajasthan called Suresh Rathi, a very, very rich guy, brother of Anand Rathi, the famous stockbroker. And you know what he did? So my book was only in English and I was finding difficult to translate it into Hindi. I did it in Marathi because I'm a Marathi guy and I had the confidence to translate into Marathi. So I did it on my own with my sister's help. But Hindi guy was procrastinating, although people were asking for Hindi copies. This guy, Suresh Rathi from Rajasthan, did not even ask me because I had written that I am not copyrighting my book. Translated the book into Hindi with an amazing Hindi because Rajasthan people are great at Hindi, and printed 5,000 copies of Hindi 7 Habits and sent them all the copies to me. This is a gift from me. Now you see, we see that the world is bad. There are so many bad people out there. I don't think so. Okay. Kindness is there in everybody. But there is a capital B-U-T, but you should be the first one to show kindness. Only then kindness boomerangs. Had I not written that line that I'm not interested in copywriting the book, he wouldn't have done this, right? This was a precondition for him to show his kindness. Get it? So, ठीक है, technology, marketing strategies, SEO, funnels, email list, social media, सब ठीक है. But that will help you to increase your business only to the extent of 10%. Trust me, it is overrated. You know, word of mouth. We think that सब कुछ अभी online word of mouth हो रहा है. Because there we can see those 1,000 shares, 1,000 likes and comments. But Jonah Berger has said in his book, Contagious, that amongst total word of mouth, even today, in spite of social media, 80% of the word of mouth happens in the physical world. But we think no, 80% is happening on the online because it is stored. Na? You can see it is tangible. You can see those 1,000 likes. Oh, this video is shared for 100 times. Yeah, most forwarded करके वो आता है हमारे पास WhatsApp पे. So we think कि अरे इसके वजह से we focus 90% of our efforts online. But unfortunately, physical word of mouth can't be seen. प्रॉब्लम है कि मेरे मुंह पे मेरी तारीफ कोई नहीं करता है. I know. But right now there are at least 1,000 people in India who are talking about me. They are amongst you. ऐसे ही तो 50 लाख हुए ना, क्योंकि मैंने तो कोई मार्केटिंग बजट था नहीं मेरा. मैंने कोई पोस्टर नहीं लगाया. मैंने कोई रिक्शा के पीछे स्टिकर नहीं लगाया, डाउनलोड बुकलेट ऐप. तो कहाँ से आया? आप लोगों ने बात की ना. So when I ask people, how did you come to know about? My father told me about you. My teacher told me about you. My friend told me about you. Right? And if you see the branding, the personal brand, corporate brand, social brand, all are one in Booklet Make India Read. Hence, the Booklet guy. Now, Booklet guy, ये इंसान है, ऐप है, ये दोनों है, कुछ नहीं, वे सब कुछ सेम है. Right? So I knew the power of personal branding. कि ऐसा नहीं है, लोगो इज यूजलेस. हमको लगता है कि लोगो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है, ऑल यूजलेस. ओके, आज एप्पल का लोगो, एप्पल की जगह कुछ फुटबॉल रहता तो क्या आप आईफोन 40,000 को नहीं खरीदते क्या? ऐसा नहीं है कुछ. बट नाउ दैट एप्पल इज नंबर वन, वी स्टार्ट कोरिलेटिंग, वी फाइंड रीजंस. ओ व्हाट अ ग्रेट स्टोरी. वो एप्पल को आधा काटा हुआ है, कुछ तो उसके पीछे लॉजिक है. कोई लॉजिक नहीं है. It was all nonsense. But so success starts speaking by itself. Yeah. वही अगर एप्पल फ्लॉप होता तो वुड हैव ब्लेम्ड लोगो. देखो वो एप्पल आधा काटा था ना, इसलिए एप्पल फ्लॉप हुआ. वो पूरा रखते तो शायद न्यूमरोलॉजी लाता उसमें या कुछ भी लाते. Well, so as I said, innovation is overrated. You don't have to innovate radically to stand out. I'll give you simple examples in my surroundings. There is a restaurant called Tip Top. I gave this example last time, but this is another example. So I've observed that they observed that it's a family restaurant. Okay, families from good middle class, elite class people come there and to have lunch and dinner. Usually there is no young crowd, it's family crowd. So mother, father, in-laws, the children, cousins, वो सब जाते हैं वहाँ पे. And if you have observed that if the family has a 2-3 year old child, then the experience in the restaurant gets little fuzzy. You know, especially when the child gets cranky. तो किसी को खाने को नहीं मिलता है ठीक से. फिर one parent has to go out, take the child, and he loses all the experience of the restaurant. है ना, ऐसा होता है, आपने देखा है कि कोई छोटा बच्चा रहता है तो वो हाथ मारेगा ऐसा टेबल पे तो कुछ गिर जाता है and what not. They observe this problem of their customers. See now, this is what great brands do. Okay. And they have some 3-4 extra waiters. I can't call them as waiters, but attendants who are specially trained to take care of these kids. Wow. अब इसका खाने से कुछ लेना देना नहीं. Again, by default खाना तो अच्छा ही होना चाहिए. हम रेस्टोरेंट में सिर्फ खाने के लिए नहीं जाते हैं. We go for the experience. As I told about hospital, by default, doctors have to be great. Right? वो गलत दवाई देंगे तो मैं केस करूंगा उन पे, right? So apart from that, what they did, they showed that human side of them by calling my father Baba. Similarly, इन्होंने यहाँ क्या किया? So they said कि okay, आपका बच्चा हम will take care. So initially the parents were skeptical, but then they saw they're handling them professionally so well, right? And there is some small play area where they keep the kids engaged and the parents are enjoying the meal. No wonder whenever there is a family get together, if somebody asks me, do you know a good restaurant? Only that restaurant comes to my mind. Yeah. And I don't even mention about food. See? So हमको लगता है कि जब हमारा जो मेन डिश है वही सब कुछ है. नहीं. मेन डिश हमेशा एक रहता है. उसके आजू बाजू पे हजारों साइड डिश रहते हैं. They are sometimes more important than the main dish. I am a practical example. बुकलेट का अस्तित्व बुकलेट ऐप के बाहर बहुत बड़ा है. Yes or no? You just don't know me for as a app developer. Why don't compare me with Olas and Swiggies? After all, I'm an app developer, right? But कभी दिमाग में आया ऐसे? Have you ever compared me with other app developers? No. Why? Because I did something differently. That instead of promoting the app, I started promoting the category, reading habit. I stand for reading habit. In fact, I stopped promoting Booklet app. I always say that don't download Booklet app. It is not compulsory. You should read. If you're not going to read books, at least read summaries. Summaries are never a substitute for books. Is what I always say. Yeah. Another example. The restaurant का मैंने example दिया. It's not that they innovated something new dish. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. They have same dishes that most of the people sell. Yeah. Another example. Now, this is my personal idea. Nobody has executed, but I see a great opportunity in it. Have you seen all the pan patti walas? A typical crowd goes there, and people like you and me who don't smoke, who don't consume tobacco, we are a little skeptical to go there. Now, I like pan, good gulkand wala pan. But I'm skeptical to go there and eat the pan. Because कोई मुझे देख लेगा, बुकलेट गाय और पान पट्टी पे खड़ा है. बस लोग सिगरेट पी रहे उधर. So I avoid going there. No parent will send their children to the pan patti, right? No lady, you never see ladies standing near the pan patti. So how about starting a pan patti branded chain where the pan patti wala stands against smoking, against tobacco. This is pure pan. The great tradition that pan was not our tradition. We borrowed from Mughals. They introduced pan, and now both Hindus, Muslims, we all eat pan. Right? So now suddenly, because that will be their main promotional point, that we don't sell cigarettes because we are against smoking, yeah, and no tobacco, pure all types of pan, Banarasi pan, whatnot, all those pans. Won't you feel now बिंदास आप जाओगे, एक अलग crowd जाएगा उनके पास. और उन्होंने क्या किया? अलग कुछ नहीं किया. They dropped the extra services that other pan patti walas are do. This is another way of branding that cut down the number of offerings that most of the people are offering in your own industry, and you'll stand out. Swiggy is a very good example. You have never thought of Swiggy as courier wala. Did you? You never compared Swiggy with courier guys. But actually they are courier walas. But they dropped all other items of couriers and narrowed down only to food delivery. Now it's a food delivery app, a new category in itself, not a courier wala. Whereas all the courier walas, they transport everything: documents, food, perishable food, non-perishable food, goods, everything. But Swiggy narrowed down, they removed the extra offerings, and what is left is only food. Suddenly it's a different offering, right? दूसरी गलती हम क्या करते हैं कि just because something is trending, the author has emphasized in this book, we think that okay, if we try doing this, then we'll stand out. It's a big mistake. If something is trending, many people are doing it, and if you jump in the wave, then you'll be lost, na? Because there is already a huge trend, and if you do the same thing and then you complain, I'm not standing out. अरे already trending चल रहा था, आपने उसको copy किया, तो how will you stand out? You'll be lost in the crowd. अभी कुछ साल पहले स्टैंड अप कॉमेडी शुरू किया था, राइट? शेखर सुमन स्टार्टेड विद टीवी चैनल था एक कोई, लाफ्टर समथिंग, एंड देन फ्रॉम देयर कपिल शर्मा इमर्ज्ड एंड नाउ स्टैंड अप कॉमेडियन, सब लोग स्टैंड अप कॉमेडी करने लगे. गली गली में स्टैंड अप कॉमेडी है ना, ओपन माइक, सबको लग रहा है कि भाई स्टैंड अप कॉमेडी इज द करियर. नो, अगर उससे कुछ अलग करोगे आप. नाउ आई वॉच लॉट ऑफ recipe videos because I'm a very health freak guy and I don't eat outside food, but I can't sacrifice my taste buds. So I make sure that I make healthy and tasty dishes at home. So I watch a lot of recipe videos. I found one cook, YouTuber. She blended stand-up comedy with recipes. Suddenly she stands out. See how she created a new category. So what she did, why recipe cooking has to be serious? Started cracking amazing jokes while she is teaching me how to make the recipe. Amazing. I love watching her. See how she played with the categories, and now she is the purple cow. The fact that I'm mentioning about her, that means she stands out. Why am I not talking about other ones? So see how innovation is overrated. I give you the example of the restaurant, the child who takes care of the children. I gave you example of pan patti. I gave you example of the recipe cooking YouTuber. They're not doing different things. They're doing things differently. Even in my case, I'm doing things differently. Everybody who wants to charge for their app, I decided to go for free. Because only one thing I realized, which is the app that every mobile has today in the world, is WhatsApp. And that is free, without ads. That hit me so hard. And this is the main reason why we have WhatsApp. Not because it is working seamlessly. Not because of its amazing technology. It could be one of the reasons. But main reason is it is free and it is free from ads. Right? See, I talked about caring for your customers, personal touch. Many corporates have started doing this. Now, I have all my bank accounts in HDFC, current account, savings account, everything. And because they allotted me one special personal RM. RM is relationship manager. Okay. And I love when he calls once in a week, sir, how are things going on? Is everything okay? Are you finding any problem with our bank? Are we serving you well? I love when he talks. But a problem comes जब फोन रखने के पहले वो कुछ बोलता है और मेरा पूरा रिस्पेक्ट चला जाता है उसके लिए. And then he says, sir, do you invest in mutual fund? Do you want to start SIP? और टर्म इंश्योरेंस लोगों का ये हमारा ये नया आया है. फिर मुझे पता है साला उसने इसके लिए फोन किया था क्या. ये पहले 5 मिनट तो बस इट वाज जस्ट ना वो दवाई के पहले जो माँ देती है ना मीठा वाला गुड़ का टुकड़ा, वैसा है. एंड आई लॉस्ट फेथ इन. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. genuinely care for your customers the way you care for your children, for your family members. Not with some preconceived notion in your mind. कि हाँ ये पहले इस बेचना है तो उसके पहले कुछ प्रीसिएशन बनाते हैं. प्रीसिएशन मतलब क्या? स्टेटमेंट बिफोर द परसुएशन स्टेटमेंट. प्रीसिएशन करके एक बुक है written by Robert Cialdini. I'm not sure whether persuasion is a dictionary word or he coined it. So persuasion, we all know. Persuasion means to convince somebody, to get something done from other person. So persuasion is a statement before the persuasion statement. All right, and the whole book is about persuasion. So I think that gives the HGFC call from that relationship manager. When I keep that call after talking to him, it doesn't give me a sense of meaningful relationship. It gives me a sense of transaction. Are you getting my point? वो फीलिंग नहीं आना चाहिए. तुमने जेन्युइनली मेरा वेयर अबाउट्स मेरी फिक्र करने के लिए फोन किया तो उतना करके रख दो ना. But the problem is we so-called highly educated people ना, including me, I have done this mistake. In every relationship, we try to be transactionally perfect. क्योंकि हम पढ़े लिखे हैं ना. Okay, पैसों के मामले में we are over conscious when it comes to money. I'll give a simple example. So it was long ago, I think 5-6 years ago, when I had just started Mission Make India Read. Not much people knew me. There were some 50,000 people as part of Mission Make India Read. And for the first time, some newspaper, no Lok Satta or Lokmat, had approached me to interview me in Marathi. And I was so happy for the first time. पूरा घर में दिवाली हो गई थी. मेरी बहन बहुत खुश थी. She was here from the US on her India vacation. हमने पार्टी किया था कि चलो वो आने वाले. So they interviewed me. And then on a certain day, वो पेपर में वो इंटरव्यू आने वाला था. Now I have a habit of going for jogging 3 days a week at a joggers park. And I have this habit of, after doing those 3, 4, 5 rounds at a joggers park, I had an habit of waiting at the chai tapri wala to have one cutting. अभी तो मैंने चाय छोड़ दी है, बट उन दिनों में मैं करता था ये. So almost every day I used to go do some jogging for 1 hour, and while coming back I used to wait at that chai tapri to have one cup of tea. So कर करके the chai tapri wala owner had become very good friend of mine. We used to interact, exchange some emotional gestures. And he happened to also sell newspapers along with chai. And मैंने एक दिन उसको बोला था कि कल शायद मेरे पे कुछ आने वाला है आर्टिकल. एंड ही वाज वेटिंग. और सुबह जैसे ही मैं जॉगिंग करके वहां गया, साहब साहब वो आपका आ गया, आपका फोटो आ गया. एंड ही वाज सो हैप्पी. या आई सेड मैंने भी देखा, बिकॉज इट वाज फर्स्ट टाइम फॉर मी. इवन आई वाज इक्वली एक्साइटेड. अभी नहीं होता, अभी वो एक्साइटमेंट इतना नहीं रहता बिकॉज अभी सब रोज का हो गया है. बट ऑफ कोर्स आई लव व्हेन सच थिंग्स हैपन. बट वो वाली एक्साइटमेंट नहीं रही बिकॉज ऑफ कोर्स अभी वो इट्स डिमिनिशिंग मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी. एंड देन मैंने चाय लिया उससे. और फिर ही सेड वन थिंग, साहब आज की चाय मेरी तरफ से, बिकॉज दिस हैज हैपेंड. एंड द बिगेस्ट मिस्टेक आई मेड दैट डे. आई सेड ठीक है ओके. बट देन आई वेंट बैक टू द कार, got those 10 rupees. I was not having money in my pocket because when I jog, I don't keep anything in my pocket. I went to the car, took a 10 rupee note and gave it to him. And suddenly, उसका चेहरा इतना गिर गया. He felt so bad. He wanted to, do some great act of kindness. And I simply thrashed his emotions by giving those 10 rupees. Why? Because I'm educated. मैं एक गरीब से क्यों हेल्प लूं, ये सब शायद मेरे दिमाग में आया रहेगा. राइट? नो, I prevented him from offering an act of kindness. He wanted to participate in my happiness of that good news in the newspaper, but I stopped him from doing that. And I could read his face that day. So these things, every time it's not a transaction. Okay, especially when the amount involved is small. मैं तो ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि चलो 50,000 किसी को दे दिया तो भूल जाओ उसको, वैसा नहीं बोल रहा हूँ मैं. बट 50-100 rupees here and there, forget यार, doesn't matter, especially in such meaningful relationships. Yeah. So when I talk about doing things differently and not doing different things, See, Ola was already in India, and I think later on Uber came. Am I right? पहले ओला आया हमारे पास और बाद में उबर आया. इंटरनेशनली पहले उबर आया था, बट आई थिंक इन इंडिया पहले ओला आया. बट टुडे दोनों अभी वी ऑलरेडी लिटरली टेक बोथ द नेम्स एट द सेम टाइम. अरे ओला उबर कर देना, है ना? बिकॉज दोनों ने एक दूसरे का डिजाइन चुराया है और मोर और लेस सब सेम है. प्राइजेस में थोड़ा बहुत ऊपर नीचे होता रहता है. नाउ उबर वाज अ सेकंड एंट्रेंट इन द मार्केट. he could have become completely different from Ola, और वो ओला के साथ कभी कंपैरिजन ही नहीं होता if Uber would have done something differently. Are you getting my point? जैसे रीडिंग ऐप में भी there are thousands of reading apps in India, but none of them have more than 1,000 downloads. Why only Booklet app? Not because I make better summaries than them. I admit there are some apps which give better summaries than me. I admit there are some apps which have got better design than Booklet. Then still why? Because I did something differently and I'm not compared with other counterparts. All right. I did not innovate something radical. Okay. I think I have discussed most of the points. I'll just go through. Everybody syndrome. This is also mentioned in the book. That whenever somebody starts a business, they think कि मेरा product सबके लिए है. It's the biggest myth, biggest misconception that I'm for everybody. No. First, make it clear whom you want to serve. And when you make it clear whom you want to serve, you essentially have to say no to all those people you would not like to serve. That is not easy. Because पैसा दिखता है ना, अरे इनको ना बोलने का. Yeah. I'll give you a fantastic example. If you know that this is the profile of the person for whom I stand. Okay. उसके लिए लोग क्या करते हैं? टिपिकली डेमोग्राफिक्स देखते हैं. डेमोग्राफिक्स जब कि नाम आता है इसका, तो टिपिकली एज, जेंडर, लोकेशन. हमको लगता है डेमोग्राफी मतलब यही चीज. ऐसा नहीं है. इनफैक्ट नाउअडेज एज एंड जेंडर हैज बिकम ऑलमोस्ट इररिलेवेंट. Age, gender, location are the least important data nowadays. For demographic, traditionally वो important था, अभी नहीं है. So I'll tell you what demographic was in my mind. Whom do I stand for? And when you stand for that one person, okay, so other people start finding opportunities in that, even if those people are not the exact person that was in my mind. नहीं समझा? I'll give you an example. So when I decided कि Booklet app is for whom, जो मैंने सोचा कि किसके लिए है, कौन से इंसान के लिए है. First, person who believes in reading, who believes in the power of books, who used to read a lot. Common complaint. I used to read a lot in childhood, but nowadays work life, busy, appointments, commitments, तो उसमें books चले गए. Then I realized, okay, ये भी बहुत बड़ा हो गया है, और उसको narrow down करते. Then I realized that when I used to do my job in stock market, I used to travel from Thane to Nariman Point in train. Thane to CST was like almost 1 hour. I used to feel guilty that I'm wasting time in commuting. 1 hour जाने के लिए, 1 hour आने के लिए, 2 घंटे दिन के वेस्ट हो रहा है. Commuting time should be productive. बस बैठा ही रहता ट्रेन में, इधर उधर गप्पे लड़ाए हम दोस्तों के साथ. So how about making this commuting time productive by reading books? And now I got clarity. Whom do I stand for? People who commute a lot. I stand for them. And accordingly, I started designing the app. और मुझे आंसर्स मिलने गए कि चलो अभी ट्रेन जब फास्ट होती है तो नेटवर्क खराब हो जाता है अपना. So I came out with offline mode. That you need not be online all the time to listen to my book summaries. You can download it and listen even if your internet is off. See how I started getting solutions. Whereas I don't think there is any other app, because they wanted to stream their ads in the audio, because they wanted quick money, उन्होंने offline mode नहीं लाया. But for me, the basis of decision making was different. It was not money. It was the profile of the person, the demographics. Are you getting my point? Kitna, and that helped me to stand out as the purple cow. So many people tell me that your offline mode helps me a lot. और फिर फ्लाइट पे, अभी मैंने फ्लाइट के बारे में तो सोचा नहीं था, बट आ गए. So how people started joining the band, even if they are not the person that I thought in my mind. Blind people. Out of this 50 lakh, 8 lakh are blind people. Blind graduate young Indians who are listening to my book summaries because they can't see, they can't read. ये तो मैंने सोचा नहीं था. Right? So offline mode also helps them. Okay? Not all books get converted into Braille Lipi. And so, books like Rich Dad Poor Dad, Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, they listen to my summaries in my voice. So see how clarity, and another best example I can give about clarity of the person whom you stand for, whom you want to serve, is the product called Karwa. You know Karwa? Sarigama Karwa. That transistor looking commodity. Okay. What a fantastic positioning. आपने जिसने जिसने गिफ्ट किया है, you always gifted for your grandparents or parents who are old enough, who are fond of old melodies of Lata, Asha, Mohammad Rafi and Kishore Kumar. Right? And that's why they came out with that design of an old transistor, radio looking instrument, जो अभी नहीं है. Youngsters like me, मैंने तो कभी देखा भी नहीं था वो transistor. But my dad knows, his dad knows about it. And so all the young couples, young boys and girls, college students started gifting Karwa to their parents, to their grandparents on anniversaries, on birthdays. See how they were clearly, we stand for these people. And no wonder young people don't buy it for themselves. आज 15 साल के बच्चे को किशोर कुमार कौन है पता भी नहीं रहेगा. Right? That's fine. That is not his fault. But then when he comes to know that his grandfather was fond of Mukesh songs, yeah, he will probably buy Karwa on his 80th birthday as a gift for him. This is very important. You have to take a clear stand. Whom do you stand for? And then say no to all other people whom you don't stand for. If I don't take a stand that I stand for reading habit, okay, then probably a person who doesn't believe in books may not love me. Let him continue hating me. But when a person in his friend circle who reads, who is fond of books, he will talk about me to him for sure. कि चल मेरे को नहीं पर एटलीस्ट तू तो देखो कौन लड़का है, गूगल कर उसको. पर अगर मैं मेरा स्टैंड शेकी रखूं, मैं कभी कभी स्टैंड अप कॉमेडी का वीडियो डालूं, कभी कभी ऐसा ना फिटनेस का वीडियो डालूं. नाउ दिस वाज अगेन डायरेक्शन मैनेजमेंट. बीच में नाउ आई एम फॉन्ड ऑफ फिटनेस. आई थिंक रिगार्डलेस ऑफ व्हाट यू डू इन लाइफ, फिटनेस has to be there. It is no more a hobby. That it has to be integral part of your life. And then जब थोड़ी बॉडी शेप में आने लगे, सिक्स पैक्स दिखने लगे, तो थोड़ा बोस्ट करने का मन करने लगा कि चलो थोड़ा शो ऑफ करते हैं ना अभी अपने मसल्स. तो आई स्टार्टेड पुटिंग सम वीडियोस ऑफ एक्सरसाइजेस ना, शर्ट निकाल के. एंड देन धीरे धीरे क्या होने लगा, आई कीप अ कीन वॉच ऑन व्हाट पीपल आर टॉकिंग अबाउट मी. इंस्टेड ऑफ आस्किंग अमृत व्हाट आर यू रीडिंग दिस डेज, people started asking me what do you eat, तुम क्या कैलिस्थेनिक्स करते हो या योगा करते हो या वेट लिफ्टिंग करते हो. धीरे धीरे आई केम टू नो कि कुछ गलत जा रहा है. आई रिड्यूस डाउन द फिटनेस वीडियोस जस्ट टू शो ऑफ एंड फ्लॉन्ट माय सिक्स पैक एब्स. ठीक है, वंस इन अ मंथ ठीक है, जब मुझे मन लगता है शो ऑफ करने का करूंगा. बट देन मेन थिंग शुड बी द मेन थिंग. उसको साइड डिश को मेन थिंग होने लगी तो डायरेक्शन में गड़बड़ हो रहा है ऐसा समझ में आने का. You get my point? If I keep cracking jokes every 5 minutes, like a stand-up comedian, you will lose respect for me. Fine, being funny sometimes to put the message out from the book is okay. Using humor in my communication is okay. But in cracking jokes every 2 minutes and acting like a stand-up comedian, you will not call me booklet guy anymore. Right? Yeah. I think I have covered all the points. There was another startup who approached me. They had a unique idea. Again, doing things differently instead of doing different things. They said that we are all a bunch of journalists and we are coming up with an idea where we see a problem. Many people are fed up of that negative news in the newspapers and on TV channels. Negative news, rapes and calamities and earthquakes and frauds and scandals. ये सब चल रहा है ना, right? But there are some people who want only good news, positive news about India. They are very bullish and optimistic about India. They want good news. So they came out with an idea कि हमारा जो न्यूज़पेपर रहेगा या ऐप रहेगा वो सिर्फ गुड न्यूज अबाउट इंडिया रहेगा, एंड द नेम इटसेल्फ इज गुड न्यूज. एंड आई फेल इन लव विद दैट आइडिया. आई सेड फुल सपोर्ट, I'll help you in whatever way. All right. In fact, I was their first customer because I'm fed up of these negative news. So people like me will definitely like that product, right? But then after 6 months, they started losing faith in their own idea. कि नहीं, मैंने सर्वे लिया, लोगों को मसाला चाहिए, थोड़ा चाहिए वो सब बॉलीवुड गॉसिप, फिर इसका लफड़ा उसके साथ. They started putting those news also, and they lost their identity. Because, as I said, when you say yes to one kind of profile of a person, essentially you have to say no to all other profiles who are not matching with the profile in your mind. They did not have the courage to say no. The moment वो मसाला वगैरह आ गया, Bollywood gossip वगैरह, now they will not stand out. Not like any other, every Tom, Dick and Harry sells news. सब वो सब कचरा, literally कचरा. I removed my support. तो नहीं चलेगा. Now you are no more a purple cow. You are a brown cow. Brown cow तो गली गली में होता है. Got it? See how? उसके लिए courage चाहिए, courage to say no. सामने से आने वाले कस्टमर को ना बोलना. Giving up that immediate income in favor of long-term relationship. Remember the fruit wala that I told you? He gave up that papaya sale. वो तो गरीब आदमी है ना, उसको तो पपाया 100 रुपया भी उसके लिए बहुत बड़ी चीज है. But he knew the importance of relationship. All right, I think I have covered in length. Let me check if I have missed out anything. Okay. Yeah, even when I wrote my book, when I started writing my book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective Readers, for 6 months, I made a blunder. I researched all other people who have written on writing, on reading books, but the best readers in the world, unke ideas kya hai. I read a book called How to Read a Book. There's a fat book called How to Read a Book. And then when I started reading my own script, my own writings, I felt bored कि this is not me. ये तो सब गूगल से छापा हुआ है. ये तो उसका आइडिया, ये तो उसका आइडिया है. वो सब मैंने कचरे के डब्बे में फेंक दिया. पूरा 6 महीने का 6 पूरा. No, this is not me. People should know what I stand for, my own experiments, my own reading habit. And all the 7 habits are so unique. They turned out to be so unique, you will never find it somewhere in Google. The first habit itself was a game changer. Don't take reading too seriously. किसी भी बुक में आपको नहीं दिखेगा ये, क्योंकि इट इज एक तो कॉन्ट्रेरियन. इट इज सो काउंटर इंट्यूटिव कि जो बंदा बोल रहा है बुक्स पढ़ो, वो बोल रहा है डोंट टेक इट टू सीरियसली. बट देन आई मेड इट अ पॉइंट, देयर इज अ क्लियर पॉइंट इन दैट, बिकॉज वी टेक रीडिंग टू सीरियसली, दैट्स व्हाई सब रूल्स आ जाते हैं रीडिंग में एंड वी लूज इंटरेस्ट. So habits are casual. If something is important to you, don't make it special, make it casual. So don't take it too seriously. And then read and discuss. The most important, read and pass it on. It was so personal to me because I did not worry about अरे बहुत लोग पॉजिटिव रहते हैं अपने बुक के बारे में तो उनको वो आइडिया पसंद नहीं आएगा. I could have taken and diluted that stand, but नहीं. मेरे लिए मुझे लगता है कि ये सेल्फिश एक्ट है कि अगर बुक पढ़ने के बाद मैं अपने पास उसको सही सलामत रखूं अच्छे से, तो द बुक इज डेड ऑन द बुक शेल्फ. अगर मेरा पढ़ के हुआ है और मैं किसी को दूं उसको पढ़ने के लिए, एंड देन वी कैन डिस्कस ओवर द बुक, बिकॉज दैट्स व्हाट आई एंजॉय. आई एंजॉय टॉकिंग टू अ पर्सन who has read the same book that I have read. I love talking, and वो मेरे पर्सनल चीजें बुक में आ गए. I did not think about the huge crowd, that thousands of people are going to read my book. No. So whenever you create something, create for only one person. There is always audience of one. And who is that one person? you yourself. Don't try to please everybody. Don't suffer from that everybody syndrome. The best example of everybody syndrome was Just Dial. Super flop app. एक ही जगह जस्ट डायल आता है, जब थिएटर पे जाते हो पिक्चर के पहले वो अमिताभ बच्चन जस्ट डायल के बारे में बोलता है। तो उस थिएटर में ही सबको अगर पूछेंगे मोबाइल में जस्ट डायल है तो एक भी बोलेगा नहीं है, है ना? किसी के पास जस्ट डायल ऐप है अभी मोबाइल में? टेल मी वन पर्सन। दैट मींस इट्स अ फ्लॉप। व्हाई? दे ट्राई टू केटर एवरीथिंग अंडर वन रूफ। आपको कुछ भी करना है डायल करो, नहीं, it doesn't work. Urban Clap was about to commit this mistake of everybody syndrome. All services, household services, plumbing से लेके wiring, electrician, cleaning, maintenance of electronic items, नहीं चला वो. Now they understood the power of narrowing down. You know, do you observe the advertisements of Urban Clap? आयुष्मान खुराना को लेके they are targeting only AC maintenance. If you have seen the ads in the lockdown, वो आयुष्मान खुराना आता है. They have reduced on not just electronic equipment maintenance, AC maintenance, super specialization, not just specialization. Now they are doing well. Now, when you think about AC maintenance, AC servicing, you think about Urban Clap. At least I did. All right. So it is important. And the best part is it is easier to deal with less number of services. Na? If you have only 2 items on your menu, then it's easy to get better in those 2 items. Instead of having a huge long length of menu items on your menu card, why not reduce down only to 1? And then you will stand for that 1 item, 1 food item. And that's why McD is McD. When I ask you which is the best burger in the world, the only name that comes to your mind is McDonald's. Yes? Why? Because essentially McDonald's said no to pav bhaji and idli and dosa. ये हमारे दिमाग में नहीं आता है. And because McD sells only burgers, it is not compared with those Shetty's hotels and those South Indian hotels and Delhi hotels, Delhi Darbar and all. Are you getting my point? Because it is not a restaurant anymore. It is burger seller. Same goes with pizza. ऐसा नहीं कि उनके पास टेक्नोलॉजिकल नो हाउ नहीं था, that's why they could not sell pav bhaji or idli and dosa. No, that is the power. Then you don't have to spend millions of rupees on marketing, because your product, your offering itself is a unique thing. All right. ITC, Indian Tobacco Company. ITC का फुल फॉर्म क्या है मालूम है? इंडियन टोबैको कंपनी. वो जाने अनजाने में इतना डाइवर्सिफाई होते गए कि सनफीस्ट बिस्किट फ्लॉप, इट नॉट वर्क. ओके. देन जॉन प्लेयर्स कपड़ा, ब्रांडेड कपड़ा, डिड नॉट वर्क. आई थिंक होटल चेन, होटल इज ठीक है वर्किंग, ITC hotels are working more or less, but tobacco company से बिस्किट्स एंड कुरकुरेज एंड ऑल वो सब, फिर कपड़े, फिर होटल चेन, they've diversified so much. I don't know the details of it. I'm just giving an example. Maybe now they are seeing that cigarette business उनका कम होते जा रहा है because taxes keep on increasing every budget. That's why they must be thinking of. But फिर ITC, when I think of ITC and if I know the full form is Indian Tobacco Company, why will I buy a packet of biscuit from a tobacco company? है आपके पास सनफीस्ट कितना पॉपुलर है? आई डोंट थिंक सो. बाकी के पार्ले जी वगैरह वी ऑल सी ऑन द बुक शेल्फ, ऑन द किचन शेल्फ. या गुड डे बिस्किट, पार्ले जी एंड व्हाट नॉट, बट वी डोंट सी सनफीस्ट. राइट. ओके, डू यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चंस? आई थिंक व्हाट्स द टाइम? 12:48. Oh, I've already surpassed, but I would love to take few questions. Anybody?
Can I ask Amrut?
Yeah. Who is this? Dipti.
Yeah, hi. No, it was a wonderful session. I mean, it does give a different perspective, but then there is one contradiction somewhere, that you said that urban company, right? Let us take that example only, that
Urban
they
Clap.
were earlier doing everything. Now it is Urban Pro. even now they are doing lots of things like salon at home, this cleaning, bathroom cleaning and everything at home. And sometimes isn't it good for a common man to find a place where you get everything like a one-stop solution? Even Reliance has diversified a lot.
Good
So
question. I got it.
even these are better brands. So what is the difference? I mean, I completely agree with your idea that if you focus on one thing, you do it better. I agree with that. But what about the other examples?
Got it. I fully bang on. It's a perfect question. In fact, I wanted somebody to ask this question. It is very obvious. See, 10, 15 years ago, when there was no internet connectivity, everything under one roof was not only acceptable, it was desirable. Shopping malls were not there in those days. Yeah. And so, but today, in a hyperly connected world, internet, social media, a specializer, when he's specially a click away, why will I go to a generalist? Is what I think as a consumer. Reliance, Tata's, they've already grown big. They are not suffering from identity crisis. Urban clap, जो आप बोल रहे हो कि शॉर्ट टर्म में आपको दिखेगा बिजनेस. If you want to be perennial, long term, अगला 50-100 साल के लिए, then that strategy will not work anymore because of internet. I'll give you a simple example. If I have a spinal injury, I think I need an operation. Will I go to a general doctor, or will I go to a doctor who is experienced for 20 years doing operations only on spinal cord? Simple, right? So urban, एक और चीज हो सकती है कि in your marketing only talk about AC maintenance, and when the customer comes in, takes your service of AC maintenance, and then tell him these are our add-ons. That is much safer, because at least your ad has worked to bring your customer to you. That is more important. एक बार अंदर आने के बाद you can tell him हम ये भी करते वो भी करते. Ideally मैं वो भी नहीं करूंगा, because then again I'm diluting my own image, my own identity. All right. And so you talked about Reliance. I know Reliance किसमें नहीं है, सब कुछ है. या कपड़े में भी है, अभी ग्रोसरी में भी है, सब कुछ है. They can afford to do that because they're the big guys. Tatas can do that. But I'm talking about startups. Don't fall in trap of this everybody syndrome.
Yeah, perfect, Amrut, totally.
Just to add one more thing, Amrut.
Yeah.
You spoke about Sarigama and Carvaan, right?
Yeah.
And recently I had a beautiful experience, I think, which added lots of value to the marketing was I had a Carvaan Mini and it was not working properly. It was costing 2,000 rupees. And I thought, okay, let me throw it off, and because I used for 2 years, 2.5, 3 years. I thought that's all the life is. But just as a click, I thought I'll call them to the call center, which they had the number. And I spoke to them. They said, no, just keep it with you. We will send a person and we will get it collected. And we'll charge you 800 rupees. It comes from Coimbatore to Mumbai. They check it. If they could repair it, they repair it. Otherwise, they replace it a new one. It is a 2.5 years old piece. I know as electronics, that will cost you only 300, 400 rupees or whatever it is as an electronic, as a manufacturer. And they're going to give it me for 800 rupees. But the service is amazing. Just a small speaker. Though they satisfied me before buying with lots of songs and beautiful, all of it, they need not to do this now. But they did it. And somebody came to my home, and that guy was more surprising. He said, like, no, not required. I'll open it right away and see it here. You just pay me 200 rupees for the service charges. If you're able to repair it, I'll repair it. Otherwise, I'll send to Mumbai. And he opened, he said, no, sir, we'll get a replacement for you, and you'll send it to Mumbai. And that's an amazing service. At least I called it happened yesterday. I called 3 people and shared about Carvaan, which is out of context for them. But it's such a beautiful service. That's branding is what I could able to say after continuation of your conversation.
Super. I didn't know this. Thank you so much for adding knowledge to me.
Yeah, just 2,100 rupees product, okay? And I was okay to buy a new one. It served very well. 2.5 years, it served really well. They need not to do it post-service of this much for a product which is just 2,000 rupees.
Wonderful example. Thanks for sharing this. I didn't know this.
Yeah, one thing I realized in them was they said like it may be 800,000, whatever it may be. The language was they want me to continue using their product as long as possible. by repairing, by replacing, but they're not willing to replace their product or the brand from my table.
I think everything boils down to this integrity, honesty, which
Exactly.
we hardly
Integrity.
talk about when it comes to corporate branding.
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember I was getting treated at my dentist, and my treatment was done, but I visited him after 2 3 days, and then he saw. You know what he said? Amrut, I think I did a small mistake,
Oh,
and
wow.
let me rectify. Now a dentist saying this, मुझे तो घंटा कुछ
God.
मालूम नहीं था. मुझे लगा कुछ extra cement है, उसको निकालना है. And saying this right to the patient, no,
Oh,
he won my heart. Yeah,
seriously. It's purely authenticity, you know.
yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
really acknowledging what they have done, something which is not appropriate, creates a
Right.
special place in us. Special place in us.
Yes.
Beautiful
Wonderful.
story.
Anybody else want to share
Hello.
something like this?
Amrut ji, I'm
Hello.
available right now.
Hello,
Oh, Ravi
Ashmita.
ji. Yeah. Ravi ji. Then we'll take the next one. Ravi ji, yeah.
Sorry, that time I was not able to connect through microphone.
No.
Thank you, Amrut ji, and thank you for this lovely session. Enjoyed a lot, learned a lot. Actually, as Amrut ji has rightly introduced me, I have a physiotherapy rehabilitation center with a stay facility. It's a residential rehabilitation center. I had been working as a physiotherapist since last 12 years, and I realized there was this burning desire, like patients who were bedridden, they were not getting proper physiotherapy treatment. So there was this demand, burning demand, rightly to correct my words. So I started with this thing, Midway Home. There we gave residential facility to our patients who need residential care, those who are bedridden. They are hemiplegics, paraplegics, means half body paralysis, full body paralysis. So these kinds of patients take admission under us, and we give vigorous physiotherapy under the guidance of their neurophysician, neurosurgeons, spinal cord surgeons. So here we knew it will be a long stay for them, like months together, a couple of months together. So we made it like a resort. When you'll from this medium, I would like to invite you all once pay a visit to our Midway Home. Is very much close to Gorai Beach. We have made it like a resort, not for others but for the patients. It's open only for patients, so patient they don't get bored staying here for longer time. So this was one of the thing we have done. Secondly, we like me, I'm a doctor. I visit patient, I don't ask them about everything. I ask them कि आप कब जा रहे हो. So बोला अभी ये नहीं हुआ है, वो नहीं हुआ, चलो ठीक है, कब से चलना शुरू करोगे. या इफ दे से कि नहीं अभी चलना शुरू किया है, थोड़ा और बेटर हो जाए, पट्टा लगा के चलते हैं. तो आई आस्क देम, पट्टा कब छूट रहा है आपका, आप कब अच्छे से चलना शुरू करोगे. तो दिस इज कंज्यूमर सेंट्रिक बातें कि आई डोंट वांट देम कि नहीं अभी आप पट्टा है, थोड़ा और अच्छे से चलने लग जाओ फिर आप जाओ. तो ये हमारा अप्रोच रहा ही नहीं है. तो इस तरीके से हमारा अप्रोच रहा है. देन वी रियलाइज लेटर having is what problem we were facing was कि patients को खाना अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है. तो this was the problem कि धीरे धीरे patients को घर की याद आ रही है. So let me tell you, हमारे जो प्रीमाइसेस की ओनर है, उनकी डॉटर ने खुद किचन टेकअप किया. बोले नहीं हम कोई वेंडर्स के ऊपर रिलाई नहीं करेंगे, वी विल डू इट आवरसेल्फ. सो शी इज द वन हु सेट्स. इवन मई का मंथ चल रहा है, एसी नहीं है हमारे किचन में, हाइजीनिक है, लेकिन फिर भी शी हरसेल्फ द ओनर ऑफ द प्रेमाइसेस. उनके पास में नियर अबाउट 100 एकर्स लैंड्स होंगे स्कैटर्ड इन मुंबई एवरीवेयर. तो उनकी डॉटर खुद वो लग के कर रहे हैं, वहां पे जाके रहते हैं. तो जस्ट टू ट्रबल शूट दिस प्रॉब्लम ऑफ आर्स. और वो भी इसलिए नहीं क्योंकि हमको पैसा कमाने का है, इसलिए कि हमको एक जेन्युइन हेल्प देने का है. हमको एक यहाँ से कस्ट फिजियोथेरेपी हमारा अच्छा हो रहा है, रिजल्ट अच्छा आ रहा है. एक कस्टमर एक्सपीरियंस जो खराब हो रहा है जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ फूड, वी वांट टू अवॉइड दैट थिंग, वी वांट टू कम आउट ऑफ दैट थिंग. तो इस तरीके से हमारा चल रहा है. और भी अमरुत जी की बातें सुन के, अमरुत जी के आज भी जो मैंने सीखा हुआ है, बहुत सी चीजें हम और अप्लाई करना चाहेंगे. आई लाइक दैट आइडिया ऑफ बाबा. वी कॉल आर पेशेंट्स वॉरियर, वी डोंट कॉल देम दिस थिंग पेशेंट आ जाओ, वॉरियर. सो टू बी, और हम उसको थोड़ा, वॉरियर सबके लिए एक हो गया, यूनिफॉर्म हो गया, तो उसके बजाय हम और कुछ करने का कोशिश करेंगे अमृत जी से सीख के, कि हम और पर्सनलाइज करें.
Very good.
अमृत जी,
Superb.
मेरा काफी लंबा
Hello.
हो
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And Ravi
Yes.
is one
Hello.
of the most benevolent, generous readers who keeps
No,
helping.
don't call me that way. Don't call me that way. Acha, like in this forum itself, I want to announce that I and Amrut ji, we together are coming up with a book very soon, in next 2.5 months. That will be Sab Hai Possible, and there I'll be including the success stories of people. That includes my patients, those who have recovered from their injuries, from their paralysis, and those who we never had thought that that will happen, then they themselves had never thought that this will happen. So apart from, it's not going to be just concentrating on medical profession only, it will be the success story of people who have come up with business ideas and have had been a purple cow, like how Amrut ji says.
Very good. Super. Thank you so much for sharing, Ravi ji.
Thank you
Hello.
so much.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, Amrut ji. This is Asmita.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Amrut. हाँ, या एक्चुअली सर मेरे 2 क्वेश्चंस है. मैंने आई डोंट नो ये क्वेश्चन अभी यहाँ पे पूछना सही है कि नहीं, वेदर यू विल आंसर एबल टू आंसर और नॉट, बट आई एम पुटिंग फॉर. एक इशू मैंने हमेशा फेस किया है. मान लीजिए अगर हम स्ट्रांगली किसी एप्लीकेशन पे बहुत सीरियसली काम कर रहे हैं, पूरा फोकस उसमें है, और 10 मिनट के लिए हमारा कलीग कुछ आके बात करता है, एंड दैट इज समथिंग इम्पोर्टेंट ऑल्सो. वो 10 मिनट्स के वो भी जो भी टॉपिक होता है उस मोमेंट पे 10 मिनट्स, उसके बाद वापस हम हमारे एप्लीकेशन में जो भी हम स्ट्रांगली उसको फोकस के साथ कर रहे होते हैं ना, वो फोकस उतना 100% नहीं होता. वो 10 मिनट में जो बात हुई ना, अगले 1 घंटे तक वो कहीं ना कहीं वो माइंड में रिवॉल्व होता है. तो ये फोकस डेवलप करने के लिए इज देयर, कैन यू गिव सम टिप्स, जो अनडिवाइडेड फोकस, इवन हम किसी को सुनते हैं उस टाइम पे भी हमारे इंटरनल थॉट्स बीच में आते हैं, बीच में हम लैप्स कर जाते हैं और कुछ चीजें मिस कर जाते हैं कि सामने वाला क्या बोल रहा है.
Very good.
तो ये वाले प्रॉब्लम को मैंने हमेशा फेस किया है. ये मेरा फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन है. और सेकंड क्वेश्चन मेरा ये है कि जैसे 2 बुक्स है, अभी मैंने ये स्वामी विवेकानंद का बुक पढ़ रही थी,
Ashmita, I'll first
जिसमें
answer the first question
या
because it
ओके
is very interesting, or else I'll
या
forget the first question
ओके या
by the time.
अंडरस्टैंड
Yeah.
अंडरस्टैंड या नो प्रॉब्लम.
You get my first answer and then we'll continue. Very, very good question, Aspita. See, you mentioned two distractions. One was external distraction. A person comes to your desk and bangs on you and distracts you, and then you lose the tempo on the high value task that you are trying to focus. Second
Right.
distraction, which is actually more important, is internal distraction. कल का हुआ झगड़ा याद आता है, आज रात को खाने के लिए कौन सी सब्जी लेके जाऊं मार्केट से. These thoughts that come to our mind while we are all focusing on one task. We
Right.
think that external distractions are a lot. Nahi. External distractions are very less. Internal distractions are 10 times more than that. Okay.
Right.
External distractions can be managed easily. एक book है Indistractable, नीर आयल का. उसमें मियाँ
पिन
बीबी दोनों
करेंगे
एक ही वेंचर पे काम करते हैं.
यहाँ
सॉरी,
पे चैट में, इसमें आप वो नेम पिन करेंगे.
इंडिस्ट्रैक्टेबल बाय नीर आयल. या और उसपे उन्होंने क्या किया है, दे बोथ रियलाइज दैट दे बोथ वर डिस्ट्रैक्टिंग ईच अदर while working. They both husband and wife working on the same business, working from home. So they came out with an idea. They came out with some handout जहाँ पे लिखने का है कि एक बाजू पे लिखना है फोकस टाइम, दूसरे बाजू पे लिखना है आई एम फ्री. So when you put that standee at your desk which says focus time, the other person will never find offending. People want you to focus. वो जानबूझ के नहीं करते, उनको पता नहीं है कि you are focusing. Simple. उनको लगता है काम कर रही है, right? उनको नहीं पता है what is the high penalty that you pay once you get distracted and try to again recalibrate your mind on the previous task. So a simple standee
कभी जरूरी भी हो
which
जाता है
says
सामने
that
वाले.
I am on focus.
सर कभी कभी ऐसा होता है, सॉरी टू कट
ठीक
यू,
है,
कि सामने
not
वाले को
saying
जो
that you're not
पूछना
going to
है.
come. Smita, let me complete. My answer is not complete. Now, once you block your 30 minutes, 30 minutes में भी बहुत ज्यादा बोल रहा हूँ, say 20 minutes, and then you turn the board which says I am free, where you'll do the work which doesn't require any much of focus, some chores, which are low value tasks. वो आप वहां पे I am free करके लिखोगे. That means you are welcoming that person to come and talk. In fact, you are respecting him more and not treating him as a distraction. Nobody feels offended by doing this. आप पूरा दिन अगर वो बोर्ड लिखोगे I am focused, तो of course लोगों को बुरा लगेगा, because discussion is also important in office, right? Second most important, internal distractions. Okay, see, multitasking का पहले मतलब समझ लो. मल्टीटास्किंग मतलब ये नहीं कि ना 2 मिनट से अभी आप टास्क ए पे काम कर रहे हो. ओके, इफ टास्क बी takes away your attention from task A, then that is multitasking. But if you do task A and you voluntarily shift your mind to task B, then that is not multitasking. Are you getting my point? तो हमको यहाँ पे क्या करना है, we should not go for long hours of working. We are not made to focus for long hours, not more than 25-30 minutes. मैं खुद 20-25 मिनट के बाद आई गेट अप फ्रॉम रीडिंग, टेक अ माइक्रो ब्रेक, और वो ब्रेक है ना, हम क्वालिटी ब्रेक नहीं लेते, एंड दैट इज द बिगेस्ट मिस्टेक. वी गो टू द फोन, चेक आवर व्हाट्सएप. क्वालिटी ब्रेक, वॉक अराउंड, स्टैंड अप. मैं तो लिटरली आई डू सम 10-15 जंप्स और गो अप, वॉक द स्टेयरकेस. थोड़ा चार्ज अप होना चाहिए, हैव अ ग्लास ऑफ वाटर, हैव अ स्प्लैश ऑफ वाटर ऑन योर फेस, and this is a micro break of like hardly 3-4 minutes, and then get back to the salt mine. All right, so small sessions hone chahiye of focus time of not more than 20-25 minutes. Okay, there is a book I did called Pomodoro Technique. You can go through it. Pomodoro Technique is there in Booklet app. Another book I mentioned was Indistractable by Neer Ayal. I think I have not covered it in Booklet app, but I'll sure do it for it. Irresistible is another book. उसका समरी है बुकलेट ऐप में, which also talks about the distractions, digital distractions especially nowadays. Okay.
बट बीच में क्या, मैंने एक एक्सपीरियंस किया, मान लीजिए हमने फोकस वाला स्टैंड ही लगा भी दिया. अभी जैसे मैं जो खुद एक्सपीरियंस करती हूँ, हमारे ऑफिस में अभी टाइम शीट्स वगैरह भरना होता है, सम इम्पोर्टेंट फैक्टर्स रहते हैं. अभी एप्लीकेशन पे काम करते बीच में टीम्स पे पिंग आ गया, मैनेजर का है, समथिंग ये इमरजेंट है, तो जो हाथ में पड़ा हुआ जो फोकस वाला काम चल रहा है उसको साइड में हटके उसको एंटरटेन करना पड़ता है. इट्स नॉट लाइक पर्पसली वो डिस्टर्ब करता है, बट सिनेरियो वैसा होता है. एंड दैट टाइम कुछ तो थोड़ी बहुत इधर उधर बातें होंगी, अरे खाना हुआ क्या, ये हुआ क्या, कौन सा तो टॉपिक बीच में थोड़ा सा फ्रेंडली नेचर रहता है कलीग्स के साथ, तो वो भी टॉपिक्स बीच में आते. तो समवेयर ऐसा होता है कि हाँ अरे अभी यहाँ पे ये चल रहा था, हम ये कोड लिख रहे थे, बीच में क्या यार ये उठ के आ गया, और बीच में फिर वो जो बोल के गया वहां के अटेंशन चला गया. तो कभी कभी सिनेरियो ऐसा होता है कि इम्पोर्टेंट टू गेट डिस्ट्रैक्टेड, मतलब सामने वाला का नीड ऑफ द आवर होता है. तो उस टाइम अपने माइंड को कैसे डेवलप करना चाहिए कि वो कचरा नहीं आवे ऐसा.
सी एज आई टोल्ड, एक तो दूसरे के इंसान से 5 मिनट भी हमारा वेस्ट होता है ना, तो वी ब्लेम दैट पर्सन. पर खुद के वजह से 1 घंटा भी वेस्ट हो तो हमको चलता है. सो दिस मोर ऑफ अ ब्लेमिंग माइंडसेट कि दूसरी वजह से मेरा नुकसान होता है तो कितना गलत. और हम जो सोशल मीडिया पे इतना टाइम वेस्ट करते हैं तो वो चलता है हमको. तो ये बायस ऑन ब्लेमिंग अदर्स बहुत नेचुरल होता है. तो ये भी हमको माइंडसेट चेंज करना है कि इट्स ओके. External distractions, by statistics I'm telling you, is already less than our own internal distractions. This should at least give you a sigh of relief. Okay, so बीच में आता है, you can talk to the guys and have a cultural change in your company. Take it in your meetings कि ऐसा है, हम सबके लिए फायदा है. बिकॉज इफ somebody every 5 minutes somebody comes in, तो हमारा जो मैं कोड लिख रही हूँ, एप्लीकेशन में काम कर रही हूँ, उसका क्वालिटी खराब होने वाला है. इट इज इन द बेनिफिट ऑफ द कंपनी. Let's come out with some code of conduct. Okay, where if there is a standing here which says focus time, we should not go near to that person.
Right.
So take it to the organizational level.
राइट या. और सेकेंड इशू मैंने एक फेस किया है कि मैं आई एम अ काइंड ऑफ स्पिरिचुअल पर्सन, तो ज्यादातर एक्सप्लोर करती हूँ अलग अलग मेडिटेशंस और ये. तो मैंने स्वामी विवेकानंद का बुक जो है वो ज्ञान योगा भक्ति योगा वो मैं पढ़ रही थी. उसमें उसने बहुत ज्यादा फोकस उन्होंने इस पे किया है, काइंड ऑफ सेलिबसी एंड ब्रह्मचर्य एंड काइंड ऑफ हमारे कुंडलिनी चक्रास एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स. तो एक बुक एक चीज को पोर्ट्रे कर रहा है, दूसरा मान लीजिए अगर इफ दे आर रीडिंग ओशो, he is completely opposite of that brahmacharya and everything. He has a different way of going through that. So दो एक ही चीज को ना दो opposite चीज contradict करती है, और वो जब हम पढ़ते हैं तो हमारा भी थोड़ा एक ऊपर नीचे लाइक कौन सा बिलीफ सिस्टम पे हमें फर्म रहना है, ये क्रिएट होता है क्वेश्चन, क्योंकि एक बुक कुछ और बोलता है, वो भी अपने तरीके से दे आर एबल टू प्रूव दैट पॉइंट कि देखो ये सही है, और दूसरा बुक अपना पॉइंट प्रूव करता है और वो भी सही लगता है. सो ये कंफ्यूजन लैंड अप होने के लिए क्या सॉल्यूशन है?
See, Asmita, this expectation of choosing one of them, the conclusion has to be one single answer, comes from our flawed education system, which has indirectly taught us since childhood that there has to be only one answer to one question. No, there can be 50 different answers for the same question, and they all can be right.
Right.
Okay, so the objective is, see, our culture, Indian culture, is about seeking, not achieving.
Right.
Holding two contradictory views at the same time in your mind is a sign of intelligence, and yet functioning well.
Yeah.
Why conclude at all? So, जो उस स्वामी ने जो भी लिखा है, again, the book that I have written, 7 Habits of Highly Effective Readers, they are not laws of reading. They are not कायदा नहीं है. These are the things which I experimented. Some experiments failed. Some experiments worked for me. And the fact that they work for me, perhaps probably will work for you.
Correct.
तो उसमें से कुछ, for example, read and pass it on, किसी को नहीं अच्छा लगा, fine, don't pass it on. I'll continue to pass it. Read and give it to my friends. Right? बहुत लोगों ने बोला है कि I like your idea, but I'll not give my books. ऐसे fine. So हर एक अपने अपना इंसान, there are 1,000 ways to achieve success.
Correct.
Right? पर वो गाइड करके, हमारे बचपन था ना गाइड, मॉडल आंसर्स, उसने हमको सिखाया कि बस देयर कैन बी ओनली वन आंसर. इवन इन मैथमेटिक्स, इवन द अल्टीमेट आंसर इज द सेम, द स्टेप्स कैन बी डिफरेंट, बट आवर टीचर्स डोंट एनकरेज फॉर गिविंग डिफरेंट आंसर्स. दे गिव रेडीमेड आंसर्स, यही लिखना है एग्जाम में, और इसलिए ये मेंटालिटी तैयार होती है हमारी. कॉन्ट्रडिक्शंस आर ब्यूटीफुल. कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन विल लीड टू क्लैरिटी. इनफैक्ट मैं तो बोलता हूँ ये 2 कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन ना और 10 उसमें जोड़ो, एंड यू विल बिकम मोर वाइज.
करेक्ट. थैंक यू सर, अमेजिंग आंसर.
थैंक यू. इनफैक्ट ये जो डिवाइडिंग है ना, नाउ सपोज आई एम अ ग्रेट मोदी फैन, बट आई आल्सो लाइक सम एलिमेंट्स ऑफ राहुल गांधी. व्हाट्स द प्रॉब्लम? व्हाट्स द प्रॉब्लम? आई लाइक राहुल गांधी's भारत यात्रा. आई लाइक हिज ऑडेसिटी टू कम ऑन स्ट्रीट्स, कि जिसकी दादी माँ को गोली मार दिया, जिसके पिताजी को मारा, और वो रास्ते पे आ रहा है. आई सॉ लॉट ऑफ करेज इन हिम, but I continue to be a big fan of Modi. Fine, is that okay? Or am I sounding dumb? Am I sounding indecisive? No. Right? पर क्यों ये एक साइड ही आना है, ऐसा जिद किसने पकड़ा है? All right.
हम बस सही क्या है ये देखने की कोशिश में रहते हैं कि अगर ये बोल रहा है ब्रह्मचर्य, दूसरा बोल रहा है नहीं.
वही तो बोल रहा हूँ, सही गलत कौन डिसाइड करेगा? योर लेवल ऑफ मैच्योरिटी, द जंक्चर ऑफ योर लाइफ will decide. Maybe after 20 years आपको स्वामी जी का सही लगेगा. अभी ये नौबत पे सेलिबेसी वगैरह मेरे पे भी दिमाग के ऊपर से जाता है. I don't understand these things. Maybe 20 years later I will find, अरे ये तो सही है, मैं पागल था 20 साल पहले. So change. मेरा जो मोटो है, if I'm not reading, I'm not changing. If I'm not changing, I'm not growing. ये मैंने क्यों बोला है? Change मतलब क्या? Not just changing your habits or actions, changing your mindset, your beliefs, your ideologies, your assumptions. Keep changing them. Yeah.
Correct. Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay, I think it's been.
Sir,
anybody? Yeah.
Just
Disha?
had a question. कि मतलब I saw a video of Oyo founder. So he said that experience is cheap, but reflection is expensive. So what are your thoughts on that? But how do you?
Experience is
Cheap, but reflection is expensive. Reflection on the like
100%.
the direction that you're going to take in your venture. But how do you find time to reflect on all these things?
Okay. It is said by Ritesh Agarwal. Oh, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. See, you put 2 men side by side, both are 60-year-old, but doesn't necessarily mean that they have gained the same amount of experience. Right? Just getting your hair gray and getting older doesn't make you more experienced, right? I know some people who are 80 years old, but they act like dumbs. Just because they have gray hair, I have to pretend to respect them. But they are like childlike mindset, immaturity. Yeah. So events happen to us, right or wrong. If we refuse to learn from them, then that is not experience. That is just events happening. All right. So I would look at failure as just a mistake, useful mistake. Okay. So that no, I will not repeat it. And in fact, I'll improve on it. But if I refuse to learn from my past mistake, that's a complete failure. Then it's like a donkey. I've become a donkey and doing the same mistake again and again. In fact, many people say me that in spite of 3 failed startups, you tried the 4th one and now it is doing well. No, not in spite. Because of the first 3 startups, the 4th one is successful. अगर बुकलेट का आइडिया पहला स्टार्टअप रहता, पक्का फेल हो जाता है. So all my 3 startups were not failures. They were useful mistakes. They were productive failures. वो सब मिस्टेक मैंने यहाँ पे अवॉइड किए. It is working well. All right. So we will experience is cheap and reflection is great. That means if you don't learn from those past mistakes, past experiences, then we are not growing. Yeah. All right. I leave some part of the Sunday for you to entertain yourself. नहीं तो पूरा दिन
last question.
आपकी पति और बीवी मेरे पे एकदम गुस्सा हो जाएंगे. So I should leave some part of Sunday for you guys to spend time with your family also. We'll take one last question and then we'll call it a day.
Sir, आप सदगुरु को पहचानते होंगे?
Yeah. Yes, of course. कौन सी बुक नहीं पढ़ी?
तो मैंने उनकी इनर इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ी थी, तो उसमें वो ऐसा कहते हैं कि ह्यूमंस सिर्फ मतलब एक चीज हमको डिफरेंशिएट करती है, दैट इज अवेयरनेस. मतलब अभी सारे काम जो ह्यूमंस के वो चैट जीपीटी आराम से कर सकते हैं, दैट इज इनपुट लेके आउटपुट देना. बट वो अवेयर रह के डिफरेंट चीजें सीख नहीं कर सकता. मतलब वो बिना इनपुट के फंक्शन नहीं कर सकता. बट हम बिना इनपुट के भी हम नॉलेज ले सकते हैं बाय बीइंग अवेयर. बट सर वो कैसे ले सकते हैं?
It's a very high level question and no wonder see Sadhguru ने इतने books लिखे हैं and no wonder he's one of my favorite gurus. I follow his footsteps a lot, trying to see it's awareness or focus इसमें फर्क है. It's about doing things mindfully. Mindfulness मतलब क्या? Not just physically getting involved, but mentally and emotionally, regardless of the quality of the job. मतलब हमको क्या लगता है कि हम ब्रश कर रहे हैं. Now I know there are some non-negotiable activities during the day. We do it because we have to do it. उससे कुछ बड़ा कुछ होने नहीं वाला है, right? But अगर आपको anyway करना ही है, if you anyway want to brush, you have to brush for the rest of the life, then you might as well get better at it, bit by bit every day. That will create your awareness. But while brushing, if you think about the upcoming IPL match today, then you're not even giving away the joy of IPL because you're brushing. You're also not getting better at brushing. I know it is boring, mundane job, but if you become mindful, you never know, you will find some new ways of brushing. You'll become more mindful. कुछ नहीं तो at least दांत तो ज़्यादा साफ हो जाएंगे. Same case with driving. I see so many people, they get bored for driving. Anyway, if they are going to commute from one place to another every day, they might as well get better at driving, even if you have no plans to participate in Formula 1. मैं ऐसा कर रहा हूँ. So once I understood this, so I suggest a book called the Power of Unwavering Focus. The whole book talks about awareness. That's your whole question. Written by Swami Dandapani. All right. I had summarized that book, but somehow, for some reason, I had to remove it from the app because I had a discussion with Dandapani. And so I removed it. But then you can buy the book and read it. And that's what I learned from him, that if I'm driving from point A to point B every day because I have to, then I'll get mindful. How? Suppose I jumped over the speed brake 3 times yesterday. How can I reduce to 2? बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि हम 20 साल से गाड़ी चला रहे, बट कुछ ना कुछ गलती होती है ना हमसे, छोटी सी. इट विल नॉट बी फेटल, कि हर बार एक्सीडेंट होना जरूरी नहीं है, बट बहुत बार मेरे से होता है कि चलो आई एम इन द पार्किंग लॉट, आई सैट इनटू द कार, फिर कुछ कॉल आया, फिर मैंने रखा, और फिर कुछ दिमाग में चल रहा है, विदाउट चेकिंग कोई आ रहा है पीछे से, मैं राइट टर्न लेता हूँ गाड़ी चालू करके, और बाद में कोई आदमी आता है, मेरे को सॉरी बोलना पड़ता है. नेक्स्ट टाइम आई शुड इम्प्रूव ऑन दिस, कि whenever I start my car, I should take a look, कोई चल के आ तो नहीं रहा है ना. I should not give a shock to anybody. Now, or maybe no, I'm driving and I'm overtaking somebody. तो वहां पे भी हमारे कभी कभी गलती होती है, जजमेंट गलत हो जाता है, दैट कैन प्रूव फेटल. तो वहां पे मैं ओवरटेकिंग में कैसे इंप्रूव हो सकता हूँ? हाउ मेनी ड्राइवर्स फ्राउंड एट मी टुडे बिकॉज ऑफ माई स्मॉल मिस्टेक? कल 5 लोगों ने फ्राउन किया, तो आज 3 लोगों से होना चाहिए, या धीरे धीरे 0 होना चाहिए. बिकॉज वी थिंक वी आर बेस्ट एट इट, बट नो, ऐसा नहीं है. Alright, so this awareness in everything, not just your big tasks, working on Excel sheet and PowerPoint and coding, everything, there should be mindfulness. Even doing your dishes in the sink, just focus, bring your awareness mentally, emotionally, physically in doing those dishes. All right, उससे क्या होगा? You will improve the richness of your experience. मिर्जा गालिब ने क्या खूब बोला है कि जिंदगी लंबी नहीं होनी चाहिए, जिंदगी बड़ी होनी चाहिए. आई थिंक ही एग्जैक्टली वांटेड टू से द सेम थिंग, कि जो भी आप कर रहे हो उसमें तन मन धन लगा के करोगे ना, तो आपको ज्यादा सेटिस्फेक्शन मिलेगा. पर वही सब कुछ आप शैलो शैलो करोगे, while brushing you are thinking about the YouTube music, while watching YouTube you are thinking about the pav bhaji that's going to be cooked by mom in the evening, while having pav bhaji you are thinking about tomorrow's meeting presentation. क्या हो रहा है? आप काम तो कर रहे हो पूरा दिन, but at the end of the day you'll go to bed as an unsatisfied person. Unfulfillment आएगी. There won't be any sense of fulfillment. Whereas the same चीज आप अगर एक ही वो 15 मिनट का काम सिर्फ वही करोगे, ignoring rest of the things, तो you'll go to bed as a more satisfied, more fulfilling person. Even खाना खाते वक्त मैं देखता हूँ कि 90% people are watching some series on Amazon Prime while eating their food on lunch. हमको उनको क्या लगता है कि मैं 15 मिनट बचा रहा हूँ, आई एम सेविंग माई 15 मिनट्स ऑफ माई लाइफ by watching that series and finishing my lunch during the break. No, you are wasting 15 minutes of your life, because you are neither giving justice to that entertainment movie, nor you are giving justice to your food. Whereas the other guy who has his food for 15 minutes, focusing on his lunchbox, savoring each and every smell, taste of that chawal and dal and sabji and roti. And then once he's done, after 15 minutes, he opens up the some video and watches it for 10-15 minutes. Now, उसने जिंदगी बड़ी जी है, लंबी नहीं बड़ी जी है. Are you getting my point? That is nothing but awareness. I hope
Thank
you
you,
get
sir.
my answer. Yeah.
Yes, sir.